Welcome back to BeerFormers. This is our 13th episode.
Yes.
We're still having fun. We're still making them.
Lucky 13.
We're hoping you're still enjoying them. We're still talking about Transformers. We're still talking about adult beverages. Mostly beer. We've got at least one episode where we've talked about Spirit. It was a good one.
And I'm ready for more of those.
Ready for more of the Spirit ones?
Always.
Well, that won't be tonight at least. So.
Not tonight.
All right. So for our 13th episode, I thought I'd do something a little different again, like I always do. All right. We got our beer in the background there. We'll be talking about that in a minute. Here in the Midwest, I'm not sure, I can't speak for everywhere else in the world, but here in the Midwest, the United States, we just finished up a kind of a rare event. We had the 13/17-year-old cicadas emerge from the ground.
They were loud.
Throughout April, May, and most of June.
It was like a constant car alarm.
And they started to go away now. They've done their thing. They've emerged from the ground.
Yes.
They have their survival strategy is you can't eat all of us.
Right, but imagine hearing...
Yeah. And enough decibels.
Straight. That's what we dealt with.
And enough decibels to maybe even cause hearing damage if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I worked for an outdoor place, and we had them everywhere. Yes. They were crazy.
See little holes in the ground.
Yeah.
I learned from this guy that cicadas coming up.
So cicadas have an interesting
life cycle. They were everywhere.
But we're not here to talk about the science of cicadas. But since we are talking about cicadas, let's talk about a transformer. There are two of them, by the way. We're going to talk about one tonight that transform into cicadas.
That's crazy. Why did they pick a cicada of all things?
They're kind of there's the cicadas all over the world. There's different species, obviously, but there's Ronan again, which you got to see a little bit last time.
I just shaking him off there.
So our transformer tonight is a transformer.
Look at this.
Called Venom.
And he's a freaking cicada.
Which is a really ironic name because cicadas in real life are completely harmless. At least the ones here in the United States.
Right.
They can't bite. They don't have mouth parts with which to chew.
Would he be a green or black one? He's got green on him, so would he be a green
He would probably, I guess technically he'd be, well, he's originally from Japan, so he's probably some sort of Japanese variety of cicada.
But the ones that just came out were black.
They were black with red eyes.
Yeah.
Here in the United States, the 13 and 17 years. In our area, we had specifically the 13-year cicadas.
Yes.
Okay.
And they weren't this big, just so you know.
They're like,
this is not the scale.
Here's Venom. The cicadas we have are maybe that big by comparison. Yeah. So it was much smaller.
This would scare the crap out of me.
This is more in line with the ones we have that come out every year. It's still a little bigger. But still,
that's a lot bigger than an actual cicada.
The actual cicada. So if the periodical cicadas are this big, the anus cicadas are about this big, which is still a significant. So yes, as I said,
and wider.
This is bigger.
Yes,
but this is much more on par with the ones that come out every year.
They're not on par at all.
Agree to disagree.
So
let me tell you a little bit about Venom here a little bit. So Venom.
Please come to the Midwest. We do not have freakish cicadas that are going to eat your face.
Well, they don't. They have no mouth parts. I mentioned that.
Oh, that's true. You did tell me. Oh,
so real quick, giant.
Tell everybody how they don't eat anything.
Many lessons on cicadas.
Crazy.
So all cicadas, that at least the ones here in the United States.
Yes.
So when I say all, I don't know about some ones that might live in Africa or Australia or Japan,
maybe, for example.
But the United States, cicadas spend most of their lives underground as nymphs, and they subsist by sucking on the juices from the xylem of tree roots. And xylem is fairly low nutrition compared to like the more what we consider to be sap, right? Which is called phloem.
Or anything to bite.
Right. But when they come up, when it's time for them to become adults and mate and reproduce, they come up out of the ground, they find a tree to cling to, and they shed their skin one last time. They extend their wings, and they fly around and make a bunch of noise to try to attract mates. And then they mate, and then they basically die not too long after that.
And they don't eat anything.
They only eat while they're babies. When they molt the final time, they lose their mouth parts. They're incapable of biting. They can land on you and tickle with their legs. They're loud and scary. At least the males are. The males are the ones who can make the noise. Yeah. The females can't. So they're kind of, if you go up to one and you go, oh, there's a nice little bug. It's kind of friendly. It's kind of scary, a little something like that. But that's the worst they can do.
Right? But I was shocked when he told me they don't eat anything. Yeah. They come out of the ground.
They live on whatever energy they've stored.
Eat. Yeah. And they reproduce, and then they go from this world.
They don't die immediately after reproducing. Like some animals, they'll linger for a while, but basically until they run out of either they get eaten by something or they run out of energy because of the stored food, they're done.
That's insane.
So lots of things eat these. However, Venom. Let's talk about Venom now.
Because he lives on Energon, so we don't have to worry about that.
He is a member of the group of Decepticons called the Insecticons.
Yes.
So because they all turn to insects, obviously, right? And the Insecticons, functionally, when it comes to like fiction and things like that, they're all a bunch of like rogue elements. They kind of do their own thing. Right? They'll follow Megatron and the other Decepticons when it suits them. But otherwise, if they would rather go do this or that, go raid this farm or like that, that's what they do. In the cartoon, they had the ability to eat pretty much anything and then convert it to energon to subsist on. So they actually could eat real food from Earth, and their bodies would naturally convert it into energon.
Anything.
And in the cartoon, they could
they could eat chicken McNuggets.
Probably. Mostly they ate crops and stuff because they were emulating plague insect type things, right? Yeah.
Cotton candy.
So real quickly here, when the Insecticons first came out, as we've talked about before on this show, Hasbro bought, these came out in the second year of Transformers. In that first and second year, they bought molds of toys from companies other than their main partner, Takara. Okay, and I believe, if I remember correctly, this came from a company called Bandai, which still exists. And before that, I think it was some other company that went out of business, right? So when when Hasbro licensed this, they came from a line that was very short-lived in Japan that was called Armored Attack Battalion Beetles or Beatrice or something like that. And don't ask me what it was in actual Japanese. All right, and there were 4 of them. All right, and so Hasbro licensed those, brought those to the United States, and they also licensed 3 insect transformers from Takara. All right, and so they had a wave of 3 Insecticons.
And were they purple and green?
They were the purple and black.
Okay, that's what I remember.
Those are the ones everyone knows from the cartoon. Those are the ones that are from the cartoon. They talk funny. They would repeat things like, we're going to transform.
And then that robotic voice.
Yeah, and they could clone themselves, so there would be like a bazillion of them, type of thing. So
like real insects.
So they would create a big hive.
Yeah, and they could wrek havoc.
So Hasbro licensed these toys from the company that went out of business, which name escapes me now.
Bandai.
Which then Bandai bought that company, okay? So when the Hasbro brought these to the United States, they called them the Deluxe Insecticons, and there were 4 of them. And they were slightly bigger than the regular Insecticon. They were a higher price point.
Okay.
All right? But they only came out that first year.
Okay.
And like many things we've talked about in this show, because it wasn't from Takara, their main partner, it was kind of a hairy issue in order to try to put them into different media. So the Deluxe Insecticons never showed up in the cartoon.
Oh my gosh, no, they didn't.
They were
I never seen the cicada.
They were only in comic books and primarily of recent decades, like the last 10, 15, 20 years.
Did this one make the comic books?
This one is made into the comic book.
What's its name?
This one's name is Venom, as I said at the beginning.
Oh, you sure did.
Yeah.
Because he had Venom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is an ironic name because these don't. I think that when the Hasbro people, someone correct me if I'm wrong on this one. I think when the Hasbro engineers were looking at this, come up with names on it, I think they thought it was maybe a B.
That just doesn't seem like the best name for it. I guess that's why it didn't stick with me.
Yeah.
We got to think of. Do you have a headcanon?
No, he's Venom. Venom is his name. And here's the other weird thing. As I mentioned in a previous episode, when you bought Transformers back in the 80s, it came with a little clip-out card on the back called a tech spec.
Yes.
It had a picture of the robot.
Yeah.
It had a little bio thing. Everybody told you a little bit about what their function was and what they did and their personality. And then it had this readout of their different powers, like how much firepower they had, their strength, blah, blah, blah. Of all the Insecticons, one of the stats was rank. Of all the Insecticons, Venom had the highest number. So technically speaking, Venom is the leader of the Insecticons. Okay?
Sure.
Even though he never made his appearance in the cartoon, only in a few comic books here and there. Okay?
He was
in the cartoon,
he didn't have time for that.
In the cartoon, it seemed like the functional leader of the Insecticons was one called Shrapnel. He turned into like a beetle with like a stag beetle or something like that.
Yeah.
But if they had animated these guys too,
and a grasshopper and what was
another beetle. It was like a rhinoceros beetle type thing. Okay. They were Shrapnel, Kickback, and Bombshell, by the way. Okay. So let's talk about this one because I'm going to give this to you so you can transform it real quick. So I'll go ahead and let's go ahead and do that now.
But I'm thinking of other names for him. I think I want to call him something like Buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw. Well, there is a Buzzsaw who's been around since day one. He's a condor.
Crap, we can't do that.
Yeah.
How about, they have like a high-pitched sound. How about, I don't know.
Decibel or something like that.
Ooh. Yeah. Decibel. That's so much better than Venom. Dave, you just came up with that off the top of your head.
There is another cicada transformer that came out.
Decibel.
Go ahead and transform this.
All right, we're going to transform. What does he transform into?
Into a robot.
Okay.
Into a humanoid-looking robot. Okay. So see if you can figure it out here. There's not much on this one, but the wings are probably the most delicate part, so just be careful with the wings. Okay. The wings have the ability to kind of pivot forward, but you want to do that low and kind of near it rather than up here because you're probably not going to break it then.
All right, here we go. Decibel. Come on, let's do this.
It's Venom. Venom is a perfectly good name.
I like Decibel.
But the other Transformer that came out that was a cicada came out during the Beast Wars era, which is the mid-90s, right? Okay. He was part of a team that combined into a larger robot, like we did last episode. We did a combiner, right?
Yeah.
And that combiner was called Tripredicus.
Yeah.
Because they were Predacons in Beast Wars. But you ready for this name?
I'm ready.
The cicada that could transform from Beast Wars was Cicadacon.
Well,
it's better than Venom.
It's better than Venom. Okay. For sure.
Yeah.
Take that any day.
So as I said, Venom never appeared in the cartoon. He did appear in a few comic books here and there. Usually as kind of a background or a bit player.
Here comes his head. Whoa.
That's backside.
Oops. Are you sure?
Sorry, people. This is the front of the robot here, believe it or not.
He's got this thing sticking out?
The wings kind of fold behind him and back.
Okay.
Almost
but
like a backwards cape.
Sticking out his mouth?
That's his antenna. There's his eyes right there.
Oh, sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
I was...
Yeah, the head can tilt quite far, but that's up enough for the head like that.
I had him looking straight up at the sky. Now he's up. Okay. Now I just got to get his arms out. Here we go.
So Venom was the functional leader.
Here we go.
As I said, based upon his tech specs a little bit. But he was also kind of like
his other arm.
He was like a...
his little hand came out.
He would have the chemicals he could test. I guess he could inject them with the stinger on top of his head.
I think I got it.
Different things like that.
That arm doesn't want to come up.
Gotta pop it out. Do you need any help yet? Or do you have it?
I got it. Look at this. I got it. And his feet.
Are facing backwards.
No, they're good. Right? This is his face, right?
Yep. And you got the hands, but the legs are backwards.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Did something twist here?
Okay, here. You want to fold the legs out of the way to kind of get them.
I got the legs out. They're
not... the bug legs. That way you can kind of get this back and out of the way like that. Right?
What did I do wrong?
You got to kind of...
The legs got to twist around?
Yeah. Twist around.
Okay.
But they need to come apart a little bit too.
How?
But the stinger in his head is located with all sorts of chemicals they can inject into things to try them out. But again, that was never really explored because he was never in any media except for in comic books.
I got it. All right, here we go.
But he does turn into a cicada, which is why we're honoring it today since it's the end of cicada season.
Okay.
Let's see how we did.
Did I do this okay?
Yeah, the only thing is, and this is kind of hard because this is old and the mold is a little tight, his legs do have to kind of separate somehow. Let me see if I can figure it out.
I don't think they're separating, Dave.
I know.
But his little hands popped out.
The little lights aren't twinkling, as they say on one of our favorite holiday movies. There we go.
That's right.
You had it 99.9% of the way.
Yes.
That's basically it.
That's pretty much how I live my life.
He has a gun.
He's 99.9% of the way
And he has this
there.
little hand axe that goes in his hand too. All right. So.
And I'm married to Dave. He helps me with that
so
last
again,
0.01%.
Because he came from a different toy manufacturer, as we talked about in previous episodes, like with Omega. Omega Supreme was a bad example.
I will F you up.
But he couldn't be put in the cartoon because of licensing brouhahas that would have occurred with Hasbro and Takara. All right. So he's the leader of the Deluxe Insecticons. There were 3 others. There was one that turned into a grasshopper also, although I think officially it was a locust.
Okay.
There was another stag beetle. It was brown.
What's the deal? 3 beetles?
And there was another rhinoceros beetle. But they were much more complicated transforms than this.
I got some questions.
Okay.
Why didn't they do a bee or a wasp or a spider? Or I know that's not a bug.
Well,
but what? Now you know that's not an insect. What else could they have done? I mean, they did 4 beetles.
Well, here's another little fun fact about this.
Potato bug. They could have done a roly poly. They could have done a roly poly.
There's a roly poly in Beast Wars too.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
The company that made this originally, which again, it's like it might have been Takatoku Toys again because we mentioned
bug,
before.
Lightning bug.
Yeah.
All these could have been done. Okay. Why did they do 3 beetles?
I don't know. But this toy and the other ones, because
Takara,
it wasn't Takara,
Banzai or whatever you are that did it, Hasbro. Okay. Who was it?
I don't know. I lost my train of thought now.
Sorry.
Oh, here's what I was going to say. When Hasbro licensed these molds, I think the same company that went out of business licensed them to everyone else too. So like back in the 80s, you can go into a KB toy store in the mall, right?
Yeah.
And they had like the real Transformers in the main aisle.
Yes.
And up front, there were like all these knockoff brands like converters and things like that. There was a line of toys, I think they were converters, of other types of insect transforming toys. They were all very low quality, but several of them were these basic same molds made with much cheaper plastic. And in those, there was like praying mantises and things like that. Yeah.
Dude, why did Hasbro do that?
Because they licensed these from a toy company that already made them and went out of business. So that's why.
What about moths? Do they count? Or are they entirely different?
By the time we get to Beast Wars, which I've alluded to earlier once, we're going to get to our beer here right away because we're getting kind of long in the tooth here a little bit. By the time we get to Beast Wars, there were all kinds of insect transforming.
Although I like the cicada.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like I said, I think with the name Venom, I think the people who named it were mistaking this for a different insect than a cicada, but he's clearly a cicada when you actually look at it for any length of time.
No, he's 100% a cicada. He's got cicada eyes.
Yeah.
I really don't know what they were thinking.
But the Deluxe Insecticon. So they only sold these 1 year.
I call them Sid.
The regular Insecticons, because they were from Takara, were able to be sold for several years and make their way into the cartoon and blah, blah, blah. So a lot of people don't know about these guys, but there are 4 of them. And they've re-released these guys in new molds.
Yeah?
Like,
different colors?
With modern engineering and stuff.
Okay.
Same colors. Everyone but Venom. Everyone but Venom.
Why?
They've redone the other ones. The Deluxe Insecticon Grasshopper was Ransack. The Deluxe,
great name, by the way.
The Deluxe Insecticon Rhinoceros Beetle is, oh man, it's gone. It's something with a bomb. I have to look it up. And the Deluxe Insecticon.
Poop bomb.
No. The Deluxe Insecticon.
Beetles like poop.
I know. Well, dung beetles do. The Deluxe Insecticon that is the stag beetle.
Yeah.
His name is Ransack. I already said that, didn't I? Ransack.
You did. You said that was the grasshopper.
Yeah, Grasshopper was Ransack.
Which is great.
He's a thief. It's gone now. It's gone. I can't remember any of the names now.
It sucks getting old, doesn't it?
It does getting old. I'd have to look him up on a computer, which I can do real quick while we'll also talk about beer in a second. But they've redone all those in modern toolings and modern styling, same colors. You can tell it's the same figure. But that was because they had redone the regular 3 Insecticons, too. And because they turn into similar insects, there's 2 grasshoppers, 2 stag beetles, 2 rhinoceros beetles.
Yeah.
But they haven't ever done a Venom.
And is it?
So
is
if
Hasbro?
you're listening, Hasbro and Takara,
Hasbro,
do a redo of Venom. Why not?
Do it. I mean, this was the year to do it.
Yeah, especially with cicadas.
With this big cicada
explosion
in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. Man, when's the next big cicada explosion, Dave?
In 13 years. 2024 plus 13. Go, math.
I can't do that.
Okay.
It's 13 years from now. Let's round it up to 15. What is it, 2024? 2030. For 2030, man, that can't be right. 2040.
Whatever.
2030 is not right. 2040.
So, even though we can't do math, we can't transform a transformer, and we can't talk about some beer. So what's our beer tonight? Go ahead and get it real quick.
I need my
By the way, it was Chop Shop was the brown stag beetle.
Ooh, Chop Shop.
Barrage was the rhinoceros beetle. I knew it began with the B.
Barrage.
And Ransack, like I said.
Great.
So Venom, Chop Shop, Barrage, and Ransack.
All right, I just have to say, those names kick butt. But Venom for the cicada is lame.
Yeah, but
I'm very
sure that they thought he was something other than a cicada when they first named him. I'm very.
Or maybe they.
When I was a kid, I remember thinking it was a bee too.
Okay. Here's the thing.
But he's not.
Cicadas are very scary looking. Mm-hmm. Maybe they thought they were venomous. I know that when I was a kid, my sister and I found some cicada shells that was just their skin that it was left behind, and I was convinced it was a dead, evil bug, and that we had to
put it on you and.
Well, we had a burial service for it because I was certain that if we didn't, it would haunt us. So I made my sister do a full burial ceremony in her backyard with the cicada shell that we found. Because they're scary. I get it. I would think they were monstrous too.
They're brown and kind of crinkly.
Yeah,
and they got big claws that they used to dig with when they're babies.
Yeah, and when they land on you, they go, and they're very scary. But when Dave told me they can't bite, they don't even have a mouth, and they can't eat, I'm like, now I feel sorry for him. So this guy's powerful. These guys are powering the cicadas. So come up with a better name than Venom. Hey,
Venom is a good name for a Marvel character.
It's a great name for that character, but it doesn't make sense for this guy. So I'm going to challenge our viewers. Please put in the comments if you can think of a better name for this guy right here, for this cicada Insecticon, who's the leader by virtue of his rank. Yeah. Let us know, and we'll vote on it, because I'm super excited. I want some better ideas than Venom. I'm very, as you can tell, I'm very upset about this. It's not cool. But I'm pretty proud of how I transformed him with just a little bit of help, right?
And she had no idea what it looked like either.
I didn't, yeah.
The only thing, the hip joints were a little tight. Really, that's about all you had wrong.
But he's so cool. So now...
Let's celebrate with the beer. What do we got tonight?
Well, this is different, okay? So I've got... I've got some little
stuff. Shall I go get the beer?
Please, Dave's going to get the beer tonight. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. This is kind of fun. So this beer is from a brewery called Urban Chestnut that will probably do more about Urban Chestnut itself in the future because it's a St. Louis brewery that's super cool, and they feature a lot of German-style brews, and they've got some great venues in St. Louis, more than one. But we're not going to focus on Urban Chestnut tonight because we're going to focus on the place that they did a collab with, which is Wally's. So something you should know about Dave and I is we love ourselves some chains.
We love road tripping, basically.
We love road tripping. And we have to go to Atlanta very often.
As you've done several times on the show.
To take our daughter to school and back. And on our way to and back, there is a Buc-ee's that we always start.
If you've never been to a Buc-ee's, they're primarily in the South. They are a no truck stop.
Yeah.
It's only for families, cars.
They are
campers.
amazing.
That's
they
it.
blow your mind. If
They've
you go
got
into
hundreds
Buc-ee's,
of pumps.
Yeah.
When you go inside, there's a huge gift shop area. There's like food being made. It's extremely clean.
Yeah.
Cleanest restrooms I think I've ever been to short of Disney World.
They have a jerky bar. They have awesome coffee. They have awesome
barbecue sandwiches. Yeah. All, fountain sodas out the wazoo. But we're not talking about Buc-ee's.
No, because we're going to talk about the other place.
We're talking about Wally's.
The home of the Great American Road Trip. That's their theme. So we discovered...
This is the up-and-comer.
Yeah, they're the up-and-comer.
They're trying to take on Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Good luck, Wally's. Good luck. Tell us more about Wally's while I crack this beer. This beer is called Big Haas, by the way.
So, Wally's, I'm trying to click on this. Let's see. Here we go.
Is the computer being weird?
The computer's being weird. I want to tell you more about Wally's.
There you go.
All right, here we go. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Wally's. We discovered Wally's. Wally's has 2 locations right now. We discovered them on our way back from Merrimack State Park. They have a location in Fitton, Missouri.
Like southwest of St. Louis City.
And a location in Pontiac, Illinois. We've now been to both of them, okay? But on our way home, we needed gas, and we stopped at this Wally's. We're like, what the heck is Wally's? And we were making fun of him because he's like, I saw some signs, and they like have this turtle mascot. We pull in, and it's a bear. Yeah. The bear is a mascot.
But there's like
what are you talking about?
There's a Wally's
how can you think
pantheon
it's a turtle?
of animals.
Turns out they have a lot of different mascots. Okay?
The main mascot is a bear. I was wrong.
The whole idea is their slogan is Home of the Great American Road Trip, and that's what it's about. And I think they're trying to become the Buc-ee's going from east to west.
And definitely north of the Mason-Dixon.
So it says, here's a little history. The idea of Wally's originated in 2017 when cousins Michael Rubenstein, this is from Wikipedia, when cousins Michael Rubenstein and Chad Wallace of rural Missouri were experiencing an unexpected drive home from Colorado and came up with a proposal for their own convenience store and gas station that would serve as a tourist attraction for travelers. So we've been to both. And let me say, it's very much like a Buc-ee's.
It's very similar, but there's enough differences where they are legally distinct and therefore unsuable.
Yeah. But I would say the biggest differences are, number one, Wally's leans heavy into the popcorn. They've got a big popcorn stand, and the whole place smells like popcorn, and it smells amazing.
Buc-ee's like roasted nuts.
Yeah, Buc-ee's smells like roasted nuts. If you go into Wally's, it smells like popcorn. And so when we were on our way up on our vacation recently we were stopping in Indiana. On our way up, we stopped in Pontiac for gas. So it was like 9 a.m, maybe even a little earlier, but dang, I wanted some popcorn. It smelled so dang good. I would say Wally's is a little wider, like there's more room.
Well, bigger ceiling.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
But they got
and there's like
jerky.
The decor is kind of 60s-ish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, definitely, Wally's, it leans in on family nostalgia of road trips, going in your camper to roadside attractions. So they got a lot of kitschy memorabilia for sale, which is really cute. Yeah. They have liquor, which Buc-ee's doesn't have. Buc-ee's has beer and wine, but you can get your local liquor at Wally's. So if you need to get your hard stuff on your way to your camping trip, stop at a Wally's.
If you're in Pontiac or
Fenton, Missouri. But the thing that really struck us was when we walked in, they had this beer that's a collaboration with Urban Chestnut. It's called Big Haas.
And as you can see here, I put it on the screen, it just says Wally's at the top, light lager, Big Haas. And at the bottom, it's small, it says brewed by Urban Chestnut Brewing. So definitely Wally's
Yeah.
gets top billing, even though they
Yeah.
didn't actually make this beer.
But again, I'm just going to read you a little bit about it, and then Dave, we're going to try it.
Yeah.
Because we haven't tried it yet. But it says here, we're thrilled to announce that we've been working on a project with Wally's, home of the Great American Road Trip. Wally's Light Lager, which is this big hoss. It's a crisp, clean, flavorful light beer with just 95 calories. Oh, that's cool. And 3.7 carbs.
So it's almost like an ultralight thing.
Yeah, and it's also available at Urban Chestnut locations as well. So that's what they say about it. So you can get it either to Wally's or to Urban Chestnut. It's the only place you can get it. So if you're in and around the St. Louis area and go to an Urban Chestnut, or if you're near Pontiac, Illinois, going up north,
Or Fenton, Missouri.
going west,
Which is on the way
toward
to
Merrimack
our
Caverns.
local Six Flags amusement park.
Yeah.
Where you pass the Wally's. If you're going that way.
Yeah, if you're going to, Six Flags St. Louis. Anyway, here we go. So now we're going to try.
The Light Lager. Congratulations on transforming Venom.
Oh, thank
even though
you.
you don't like the name.
No, that's all right. But I do like Wally's, and it's Wally's. We wish you the best as you continue to grow, because I think it's great. We love us some, like I said, some chain
Now,
rest areas.
I think trucks can go to Wally's, unlike Buc-ee's.
That I'm not going to stamp that.
I think I remember seeing trucks there when we were at Pontiac.
That's got a little limitingness
But
to
it
it.
is, but it is definitely
That's
geared
very
more
light.
toward like the family. Because I don't think there's like at a regular truck stop. I don't think there's showers.
Ooh.
Like if you go to a Love's, where there's trucker showers.
No. This is good. No, but Wally's is fun. It's a great place to stop. I
Anything
personally,
you can snack on. I think the snack
Yeah.
up, they probably got it.
and I bought a bag of whole bean Wally's coffee. That was my souvenir that I took home from there.
Look at the color in that. It's almost.
One of my kids got like a bunch of like classic candy.
Mm-hmm.
So one of our kids got Route 66 soda. Oh, hi, there's Roni again. But so there's something for everybody there. Yeah, we really had a good time there.
Yeah.
Just like we do at Buc-ee's. And Buc-ee's is a like can't miss. So
Yeah.
anyway.
If you go in the South, see a Buc-ee's, stop there too. You know,
Yeah.
they're similar but different.
Yeah.
And the differences are enough to make it worth going to both.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And this beer is really good. God,
it's
you can get in trouble with this. It is super light, but not so light that it doesn't have flavor. That's what's cool about working with I think a microbrewery, because it's very lemony.
Mm-hmm.
It has a nice richness that lingers on your tongue after you drink it, but you don't feel heavy in your stomach.
I agree.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah. Very nice light.
Nice job. All right, so Dave and I are now going to go probably drink the rest of it on our deck. So, anyway.
So if you'd like to learn more about Venom and the other Insecticons,
or whatever we should name
or whatever
it.
you name
Other
it,
than that,
if you're
'cause it's a
in, if
dumb
you're in
name.
Noelle's headcanon, she wants a different name.
I don't like Venom. That's a dumb name.
You can go to a couple of different, there's lots of places you go, but the two I recommend are, once again, tfwiki.net. That's the Transformers wiki. You can learn about this and all the other Insecticons and all their obscure history. There is a wiki about the Insecticons from Chris McFeely on YouTube. He's got that channel called The Basics On. So look at Chris McFeely, The Basics On. There's a Basics on the Insecticons, I believe.
Nice.
I'm not sure he's got one specifically for Venom, but maybe I'm wrong. You can look that up and let me know. If you'd also like to know about any other Transformer, drop us a line. We'll be happy to talk about it. I wanted to talk about this mostly just because it was the end of cicada season.
I know, that's super cool.
And there happens to be a Transformer that turns into a cicada.
And this guy knows everything about cicadas. I mean,
I don't know about that, but I do
know a lot.
I do know.
The last time we went hiking together, I mean, it was pretty much the entire time was a lecture about cicadas, and it was fascinating.
I work for a nature preserve, and so
Yeah.
I've learned a few things because of my work. That's about it. I'm not an insect scientist by any stretch of the imagination. If you'd like to know more about any other beer, or like to see us try a beer or a spirit, drop us a line and let us know.
Please do. And I'm not a beer expert by any means, but I do drink a lot of beer.
But as we always say here, hit all those buttons with YouTube.
Yeah.
We're up to 148 subscribers as of this filming.
Will
We'd
you
still
be
like to get 150.
150, come on, let's do it.
But like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. We'd love to.
And as always, let us know if there's a beer or spirit you want us to try. Because we are more than happy to seek it out.
We are, as you figured out, if you've been a long time watching us, we are in the St. Louis metro area.
Yeah, but we'll go anywhere.
We'll go anywhere.
And we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to get it. Yeah.
All right, so.
Go anywhere or figure out how to get it. So.
Thanks for watching. Please play responsibly and drink responsibly.
That's right.
And thanks for watching us here on BeerFormers.
More than meets their eye.